All right, welcome back, you guys. We're going to go ahead and do we got a 2015 5.0 Mustang right here. Going to do some upgrades to it. Going to put a clutch in it. We got to change over the, he's got I think it's a different kind of an H pipe or something. He didn't, or maybe this one's stainless and that ain't, whatever. He wants this one on it. We got some half shafts. We got the clutch over there. Just a few things we're going to do. Let me take you around this thing.
I'm a trendsetter. Okay. Let go. Hey, okay, I know I'm here to stay. Counting on my wins, so I can't play it safe.
All right. Pretty cool ride. It's got the Nietzsche wheels on it. Pretty cool little car. Really is. Guy keeps it pretty clean. It's a friend of a friend that sent him here. It's a nice piece. I think it's got the Brimbos in the front. Yeah, the big caliber Brimbos in the front, big rotors. I'm not sure what all he's done to it, but it's got the aluminum canister, the crossbar, quite a bit of stuff. It's got headers on it. I'm not sure what all he's done as far as performance goes, but pretty cool car. Pretty cool car. Yeah, it looks real nice. I like black too, especially when it's clean, you know. Black is so nice and rich and clean. That thing's pretty cool. Let's put the hood down and see what I can't remember if it had scoops on it or... That's a factory hood. Factory 5.0 hood, I believe. I'm not too familiar with what comes on these and whatever, but I think it's pretty bad. On the back it's got the... and I don't know if that's aftermarket, that spoiler. Not sure. Pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and get the... I got the battery unhooked. I'm going to get the car back up in the air. And I've already sprayed some PB Blaster on, you know, all the stuff like the exhaust, the drive shaft. I think I'm going to have to pull the front. Let's see here. I'm almost sure I got to pull the front. Now on the other pipe, it has a section. Yeah, see, this is a different one here. Course of performance. But on the other one, it's got a section that has the O2 sensors in it. They may be part of the elbows that go into the headers. We'll look here when we raise it back up, but I do remember seeing them back there. Not unless we got to make something here, another pipe, because that one underneath looks longer than this for some reason. But we'll get it up in the air and check it out. Oh yeah, also some wheel bearings. I don't know if I said that or not. But let me go ahead and get this thing up. We'll get her up in the air and start pulling stuff off. Give me a few. All right, guys. Yeah, these are welded on. Here's the H pipe, and that is the correct size. So I'll have to weld these churn downs back on, or elbows back onto that one. So what we'll do is we'll take it off the car and get them cut off the car so it's a cleaner cut, and then we'll put them back on, set them where we need them, tack them, and then pull it back down and do it like that. But these do have to come off. I'm not gonna... That PB Blaster is something else. I mean, it's good stuff, man. Well, these are broke loose. What we'll do is we'll take them off. Is this one? Yep, that one's good too. Okay, let's take these off. These band clamps up here. Yeah, I was going to take them off here. Wonder if I should just do that. Might be a little easier, and I can grab a stand and set it right here. Yeah, let me grab a stand real quick, guys. Okay, let's put this right here. I made these things a long time ago. I 3D printed these to loosen and unloosen my clamps. I need to make something on a wire. I think I'll do that when I pause the camera again, just so I don't have to keep on it falling and stuff. Okay, let's pop these out. Wonder if that ratchet's 1/4 or 3/8. I think it's 1/4. I need to go grab my other. Let me go grab my other ratchet. Okay, real quick, guys. I wanted to touch base on. So I'm doing a couple of these things in between, like before I finish the Planish hammer, because I need the extra money. Sorry guys, the phone ring. So I got a oh, that's a strange washer. I have to do a couple of these things in between just to make a few bucks. So once we get this out of the way, we'll be able to get right back on it. I don't want you guys to think I'm neglecting it, because basically that thing is finished. We just have to take it apart and do a couple welds on it and clean it up and you know, get it ready for powder. And then I was doing one of my things again where I was thinking maybe I'll just swipe some Bond on it here and there and maybe paint it. So I don't know. I changed my mind so much on that stuff, but all I want is just it to be the right way and nice. But because I was thinking, hang on, I'm gonna flip you guys around. Yeah, because I was thinking which way would be, you know, less money and stuff like that JB Weld, and you know, just what's the best route, you know, because either way it'll look good, you know what I mean. And if I do the paint, I got this real nice European clear, and it's just hard as a rock. I have it on my Kodiak, and that stuff, I'll tell you what, it's got a super nice gloss to it, and wow, does it have a strong, you know, it's very strong. So I'll have to probably move this camera again so I can drop that down, and then we'll try to tap this thing off this way. Problem is, this one ain't got no, it's missing a hanger back here. I don't want that thing to come off with that. Let me see. Hold on a second. Okay. Yeah, so what I was saying is, on that, now I forgot what I was talking about. Thought that was moving. Let me go grab another stand, and let's hang on one sec, and a rubber mallet so I can hit back on that, on where the bracket is there. 1 second. All right, we got this off the car. I just took the whole thing off and knocked the rear mufflers off on the ground just so I had a little more where I could work with it. But I just kind of set them up on the lift and just let it down. The phone rang again, and I was in the middle of everything, so. All right, this thing is a beast. Let's try to get some of it cut here. Cutting it pretty good. And I checked the H pipes. They look the same. Actually, let me go over here and cut this one. I hope that thing don't kick back on me because it's going this way now. I'm going to try to cut it easier. Hold on. That one's real close. Yeah. Right on the back side of it. I can probably, yep. If I can get this one out of the way. Yeah, here it comes. Just a small amount left. Okay, I'll clean that up. Okay, so that one's passenger side. Maybe. Let's try to cut this some more here. This is the driver's. All right. So here's his old one. Yeah, they look identical. Let me take you back over here. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm not sure really what the difference is, other than the welds look nicer on that one. I'm not sure why he wanted this one on it, because they're almost, in fact, they're identical. So I'm not sure. Up here, there's a little more on these that we can straighten up and cut off when we put our pipes back on. Well, I'll probably clean those real well, all the old welds and stuff off first, we'll mount them back up in the car, and then we'll set these on the stands in the car, get everything fitting nice, and then we'll put a couple welds around the front part again, pull it back off, weld that up solid, and then these will get clamped back on to the tailpipes with the rear mufflers. So as long as, I'd say, we'll pre-fit it all so we know it fits nice, and that's how we'll go about that. But for now, I am going to concentrate on the clutch. So what we'll do now that those are out of the way, we've got plenty of room under here, and that's how I wanted it. So I don't think the headers are going to be in the way. We got some O2 sensor wires to pull it back out of the way, a couple other little plugs, and what we'll do, and I'm thinking everything looks like maybe reachable from down here with a couple of swivels and long extensions, especially once we get, what we'll do is right here, we'll pull the drive shafts out next, get it out of the way, and get some of this stuff cleaned out of the way, these wires and stuff, because that way, once I get my transmission jack under here and remove the rear cross member, we can let it down slowly and disconnect our shifter. I believe I could do that from down here too, once this drive shaft's out of the way. I think it's all right there. Yep, it looks like it. Okay, so yeah, we'll move this first, and then once we get this out of the way, that'll come down far enough to where we can get the top bolts out from the tranny, and then we'll get the rest of them out, pull her back, get our clutch changed out. We'll do all that first, get it back up in there, and then we'll do the exhaust last, because we don't need it yet anyways. And then once we're done with that, we'll go up here and put the, I believe he's got the wheel bearings for the front, and then the shafts for the rear. There's actually something back here. Check this out. I don't know what that is. Something's down. This was hanging. I'm not even sure what that is. I'll have to look up in there and get a light. I don't think there's anything in it. It might be an old, not unless it ripped somewhere or it came apart. I'm not sure. We'll see once we get that. Once we get those out of there, and we'll look up in there real good with the light and make sure. Let me grab a couple tools so we can take the bolts out of the drive shaft. Okay, that was the last one. This is a nice little, got it from Harbor Freight. It's a ratcheting, reversible breaker bar. I've had it forever, man. That thing works great. This top one's kind of in a real crappy area. Let's try to get it first. Come on, get around there. Man. Okay, there's one. We'll get this other top one too, just to get them. Okay. All right, let me get this turned around so we can drop our carrier here. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Hang on. Keep all these with the drive shaft bolts. Watch it come down and bust my head. There it is. All right. Probably need something to pry that out with. Watch my head. Watch my head. Oh, ow, ow. Let me do this first. Let me take that. Hang on one second, guys. All right, let's try this again. I had to get a different pry bar. Keep that over here. Now I hope that front one. Well, let me get it out first. It looks like, yeah. Well, what did I do with it? All right, one more time, guys. That front there. Usually you could just take out the two, the one set. It wasn't having it, so I went ahead and took them all off. Okay. The center joint feels pretty good. The carrier feels pretty good. All feels pretty good. Let's look this way now. Okay. Yeah, this thing, I wanted to check this, but sometimes, there it goes. It was just stuck on there. I just wanted to inspect it for cracks and stuff. And you can't see it if it's got some. I'll show them. And if he wants to, I mean, I replace it. I mean, so the way this works is there's sleeves in here. They bolt into the tranny. The other sleeves bolt into the drive shaft. Well, the rubber surrounding it is the part that's scary, that may rip. But yeah, there's a few areas that are, I'd probably replace it. So I'm going to show it to him. All right. Okay. And that's what I was trying to get. I wanted to get that off with it so that we could inspect it. Yeah, see, I think we could just take off 1, 2, and I think there's another one up top. And the side ones come off this way. And then the top one goes, I believe, that way. And the shifter will stay there, and that'll all come off there. So, all right, next thing is next. I'm going to get the jack under here. We'll get it set. We'll pop this out of the way so we can bring that down just a hair to work our linkage off. We'll move these, which they're just sitting there, these O2 sensor wires. We'll get them out of the way. Get this. I'm probably going to get a piece of wire and tie them up. Actually, you know what? I may end up unplugging those and taking these out just so the tranny don't hit them and break them. You know what I mean? Might as well be. I'm gonna get a panel popper for that. Okay, let me get these unhooked and pop them out of there. And it's just unscrew it with a crescent wrench. And I'll get the jack set up underneath here and I'll bring you guys back. Give me a few. All right, guys, somebody's got this. I got the other side off good. This one here is boogered up. I don't know, so I'm gonna try to heat it. If you don't have torches, which I do, I just don't want to drag them out here. The yellow can is the best for the fastest, hottest heat, and it's cheaper than buying torches. I'm gonna try to get this off without. Jeez, no wonder it's boogered up. Maybe they couldn't even get this one out. Oh God, there it goes. Wow. Yeah, I don't think that thing's been out ever. Try to go back and forth with it. All right, come on. All right. Oh, man, that thing is. Wow. Let me go grab some spray. I sprayed that for a minute. Oh, that's hot. I figured maybe now we can get these on it. Yeah, I wish they would have heated it and did it like this. Then maybe they wouldn't have marred up the surface of it. Whoever put them on there. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's probably okay. You know what I mean? But I'm going to bring it to his attention that was boogered up. Yeah, at least we won't break them now pulling the tranny back. You know what I mean? Okay. I wanted you guys to see that. Now we're going to go ahead. I'm going to put these. Let's see if you can see it. I'm going to take these chains I got. I'm going to loop them around the front and the back and snug them up just so everything's tight on the jack. We don't want it spinning around, messing up. And then I'm going to raise it up just a hair, take the cross member out, drop it down just a hair so we can get our shifter linkage and stuff off. So give me a few. I'm going to get the correct tools for all that. Looks like that's a 13. I might be able to just remove these. There's like these little 13 or something right in the side. And then I gotta look. I can't see that one until I drop it down a little bit. So let's get that far and then I'll bring you back. All right, guys, I got the starter out. I'll show you up in the car. Basically, you just take the shifter knob off and lift the top little boot thing out of there. And then just to allow this to come down. You probably don't even have to take off the trim piece because once you take the knob off and slide well, no, you do, because you got to slide the boot off of there. And then the shifter just comes straight down. I didn't want to take all the linkage off. I looked at it and I was like, you know what? Why do that when it'll just slide down. So we had two bolts on the front of the dust cover. I took the starter off. there was 2 up top. You need real long extensions to get to them, whether you're doing it on a lift or the ground. Just 2 of those at the very top. Unfortunately, I can't show you that because it's way up there. I don't know how I would get a camera up there, but there's 1 on each side of the bell housing. And then there's 3 along the side here, 2 along the side here, and 1 on that little ear there up above those 2. So I got 1 left in here, and then we could try to pull it back a little bit. We'll pry it off there and then try to get the rest of the harness off the transmission. So I got it broke loose. I'll tell you, that starter, the upper bolt on it was tougher than any of these. These, I just got 2 long extensions, went up, put a light up there so I could see, and went right through it, or, right to it. Then I just took a magnet and fed it off. Let me grab a pry bar so we can pry back on it a little bit, and then we'll try to get her down. Hang on a second. Okay, let's see. I think I got all those out. Yeah, yep. Okay, we're separated here. Let's try to get it back a little bit. Seems like we're still. Let me try to let it down just a touch. Oops, wrong way. I don't want to get too much. It's separating. It's a matter of getting it off of that. There we go. Off of that pilot bushing. This side's a little. There we go. And once you get it going, oh, there it goes. Okay, I think we're broke free. What was that? I wanted to get the my chain on it, but I don't want to pinch that harness, so I'll just go easy, and then once we get it, yeah, we're broke free. I just got to get, you know what, I think I got to go up in the back a little, like that. Yep, there it goes.
There she goes.
It's coming off slowly. Okay, let's see. Yeah, we got to come up on the back. Well, I'm going the wrong way again. Bring that jack back a little bit. There we go. You know what I'm going to do, guys? Nope. Pull this jack back a little bit. Put me a piece of wood here on the pan and get it up level where it's coming off straight back. Give me a few. Okay. Right in the middle of it, the compressor kicked on. What'd I do with my... Okay, now let's see what it likes. I think I'm still... Okay. Yeah, that's so much easier, guys. So basically you want to get your motor. I'm gonna try to let it down some. Get your motor where it's a little level. Yeah, that shifter. We need to get it out of that boot. There we go. Okay. See, basically we need to come straight down in the back. You know what? Let me tie, because now I can see up here. Yeah, okay, I see it. I'm gonna go ahead and pop these little harnesses off here, put a chain over it, and strap it to the thing where I can handle it better.
The little boy handled it.
I don't want it coming off there, so give me a few. And it's just these chains here. They go right over, and the one hooks in that little slot, and they just tighten up. All right, give me a few. Okay, I popped the harness off. I put my chain around, hooked it to the thing. You'll see it better when I let it down, how the chain goes over it. I think we're pretty much out of the... Okay, let's go easy. The problem is it's right there with that. I may have to let the motor back down easy. Yep, because where the bell housing, or the part of the tranny, is against the firewall. We just got to go just a little, guys. So let me, yep, that chain's holding it. Let's let that down a little bit. Problem is I can't watch that. Well, we ain't got no pressure on that. Come on out of there. Stay with me. Let me turn this up. Sorry if you guys can't see. I'm trying to level it out some. Okay. Stay on there. Even with that chain, buddy, that thing is... Let me bring that back up a little bit. Okay, there we go. Actually, I need the front. Oh, that thing ain't light. All right, stay there. Right there. Chain. I gotta pop this clip out of this. I bet I need a... Maybe not. How much you want me to turn you up? Right there. Whew! Let me get a pick. Pop this clip out. Come on out of there. Some of that stuff, buddy, it'll fight you to the... I ain't got no pressure on it. Will that one come out? It acts like it, but it won't. And this one looks a little rusted. Nowhere to put my light. I can't go up no further than that. Now, come on out of there. You want some PB Blaster in you? All right. Hang on, guys. We got the slave cylinder line out. Let's go down easy. I keep hitting that wrong one. Now we make a mess. Get that down where everything's good to go. Boy, she still wants to come off there. How did I run over that? Oh, okay. I don't know if I can do this one-handed. Let's try it. I want to get another chain on it. All right, guys, sorry about that. I want to get some oil dry down and get these bolts set in the correct place. That's all it is. You just hook a chain through it. It's got a slot in the back. That's got a wing nut on it. I lost my wing nut, so I found a bolt a long time ago to fit this thread, and that's what I've been using. But I went ahead and took the front one off, leveled my tray out a little bit, and twisted the transmission upright because I couldn't get my other chain in over there. I'll spin it here in a second, show you what I mean. Let me get this secured so she ain't going nowhere. I don't think it is. Okay, so what I done was, over here I couldn't get my other plate in because this was close to the bell housing, or to the transmission. So now that we got it correct, and see, now you can turn it left to right, back to front, you know what I mean? Level it out, so everything, that feels good there. Okay, so that's good to go there. Yeah, I wanted to get some floor dry on. While this continues to drip, we're just gonna let it drip until, I gotta put my clip back on here before I forget it. We'll just let that continue to empty out, because I'm going to go ahead and re-bleed it anyways once I put the new line in it, or once I put the new clutch back in it and all that. But so we'll let, I bet that goes on after. I need to remember where I put that at. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get looks like a 13, so we can zip that clutch off, and then we'll examine it and see how bad it is. So give me a few, and I'm going to get something. I don't want to use my air, so I'm going to try to get my little cordless impact and see if it'll break those loose. It should, so give me a couple minutes there. All right, guys, I got my 1/2-inch drive on it. That little one didn't break them loose. I didn't want to sit there and hold the front and break it loose with a, what do you call it? I think I've only got one bolt holding that in there. So let me put this on the ground. I need to remember when I set this car back up to bring it down one level, because it's a little too tall for me. I'm the short guy. When it comes to doing this kind of stuff, you want to have it where it's at a good height for you. There is all kinds of dust coming out of it. Oof. Should probably have a mask on. Okay. Well, let me let you guys see this. I've actually seen worse. I mean, well, yeah, it is kind of close to the rivets. Yeah, on both sides, and you can see the wear right there, the lip. I mean, it probably would have went a little longer. You know what I mean? It's not to the all the way to the rivets, but it's he caught it just in time, put it that way, because that could have been a disaster. Yeah, so this, let me put it back up here, guys. Okay, so this flywheel, even the bearing ain't real crappy, but we're gonna replace it. The flywheel, it does have some hot spots in it, but we got a new one in that kit. I believe it does. I'm almost sure it does. So we'll pop it off. Boy, that thing is gonna leak for another 10 years, it looks like. I need to probably put a cup underneath that. All right, I'm gonna grab a cup, let that finish dripping into that thing instead of all over the ground, even though it's floor dry. I'm gonna pop that flywheel off. Looks like it's a 17 or an 18. This is, yeah, that's a 19. My bad. So I'm gonna use the same impact, the big one, pop it off, get it out of the way, and then clean everything up, and we'll start putting stuff back together. I mean, we're to that point, so give me a few. Let me get that off and get this stuff cleaned up real quick. All right, guys, we are putting a new slave in this too. This has a little plastic thing on it here. I thought it came out with it. It sure looks like it. I think I need a screwdriver. Let me see. Yeah, which way do you go? Let me get from the looks of it. Oh, okay. That's got to get pushed out that way. It should come. Well, I can get it out past the. But it also it has clips on that, or it's clipped on that way too. Let me walk it off. I don't know why it wouldn't let it that way. I mean, it's pretty stupid. That's the way I'd rather let it off, that way. Let's see. It don't like that way. Well, let me have it this way. I can get it going a little bit and then it stops. Well, which way do you want to go? Maybe that way. No. Why is it stopping right there? Ain't nothing holding it. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, I see. So once that comes off, we need to pry that part. Okay, this is difficult. This light, you can't put it anywhere. Okay, so now, once I get this far, I need to pry those, yep, like that. Just like that. Get past there. Yeah, you pry one and the other one sticks. Did I get it? Maybe. Stuck again. Hang on. There we go. Okay. Now, should slide right off. And that's it. And that'll come with... Yeah, that thing's a little noisy. You guys can hear that. Hold on. Listen. Right in the mic. That's an annoying noise when you let the clutch off. In a standard car. I know you guys have all heard it. Okay, so we got that off. I'm going to start cleaning stuff, prepping the areas, getting my floor right, prepping this area, all the areas, all the things. That fluid finally stopped. I put a can up there on that, the wood we got up there on the oil pan, or on that jack. So let me get cleaned up a little bit, straightened around, clean some stuff up, and then I'll bring you guys back when we're putting it all together. All right, guys, so the part came in, that dampener. It was, I showed it to him and he agreed. It looked a little rough, so I'm glad he went with it. Okay, now I had to go and buy this slide hammer kit here because once again, I've had one of these, probably two of these, for many years, and I ended up loaning it to somebody. And they never brought it back, or I forgot to ask for it. Either way, you would think if you loan something to somebody, they should be obligated to say, hey, I'm done with your tool, here you go. Well, I'd say 1 out of 50 people do that, so that's why I hate loaning tools out. I don't care who it is. It could be family, your best friend, your brother, it doesn't matter. So anyways, these work like this. They go in here, and then you tighten that up. and then that'll spread it around the back, and you put your slide hammer on it and pop it out. So I'm going to go ahead and get set up under the car and get that tightened up inside the pilot bearing. I'll bring you guys back when I'm getting ready to pop it out, just to show you how it comes out. Give me a second. Let's hope that's it. That reverse thread? No. And you want to screw that all the way on, because if you try to do it on the end threads, something happens, you'll booger them up. Boy, man, it's almost like that's not a big enough slide hammer. That sucker is in there. Hang on, guys, let me go grab the other one real quick. Okay. Yeah, that's that hole. Yep, it is in there. So I'm wondering, well, man, that seal is right there. I can't put no heat on it. Man, that sucks. It's always something it'll hold you up. Well, you know what? The center part's coming out. I'm wondering. No, that ain't the extent of it. Okay, so now what we'll do is, let me change over to the bigger one, and we'll pop that part out. Well, at least we're getting somewhere. All right, give me a minute. Real quick, you guys, I want you guys to see how that spread across the back of it. Works pretty good. All right, got the bigger one in there, guys. Hopefully. Oh, yeah, it's moving. Oh, there we go. Woo! Right there. So, people make bread and grease, and I don't know what all this stuff is. I've tried it. I've tried different things, and it never really, I don't know. It just takes too long to sit there and pound stuff and keep adding bread and grease. And these tools are about, well, this one's from Harbor Freight. It was 50 something bucks. I think Amazon's got it for about 5 or 10 bucks cheaper, but unfortunately I couldn't find mine and I needed it today. So, all right, there's our old one. Came completely apart because of me, because, you know, I must have got on the edge of it or something. It doesn't matter. It's bad anyways, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean that area up, find us a nice socket or something that goes around it evenly, and we'll tap that one back in. Give me a second. Let me go get a little bit of brake clean, guys. Hang on. Just to make sure it's good and clean. Okay. All right, now I found a socket. I've been meaning to make me something that fits in the sockets with an end like that, with just a round end. Hope you guys can see that. No, I got to be up here. I've been meaning to make me, you know, a rod to go in a socket with a round, you know, solid end there, so I can heat treat it. That way I can hit on it and not ruin my, you know, my ends. But I haven't done it, so I need to do that. So we'll start tapping it, get it going evenly. There we go. And just tap easy when you're starting them. You don't gotta, you know, slam them hard. And right now I'm just tapping it easy with this big hammer too. You don't gotta beat the crap out of them. I think we're in, guys. Yeah, we're in. It's solid. That one's a little fits a little different than the other one. Yep, we're in there. We're in there. Okay. All right, so we got that in. Let me show you the, yeah, see what it does to that. Now I got to clean that up. But if I made me something out of round rod and mill that, you know, like that, and have a round slug up here, heat treat it, bam, you can hit it all day and not ruin it. So, but I haven't done it. Let me show you, hang on, let me show you this, what we put the slave cylinder in. Okay, we got all this back in. I'm gonna clean that up a little bit, blow it out nice. It's all good. This all fit, that all fit nice. It's back in place. I am gonna take some kind of emery or something and clean up the end of that line and maybe try to find a new O-ring for the end of it before we put it back in there. And then I'll grease it up, put it back in there, and put our clip back in it. Because it's kind of rusty. I don't want it to start leaking on them. So, but that's all in. These are torqued. I forget what I torqued them. I looked up the factory or the torque specs on the internet. I think it was 25 foot-pounds or something. Can't remember. Anyhow, it's in. That's ready. Let me do some cleaning real quick. I'm gonna mount our flywheel and torque all those. No reason to watch that really. I'll bring you in on the end of it or something. And then we'll get I'll bring you back when I'm putting the clutch in so we can set our alignment tool in there and go through the procedure of torquing it down. So give me a few. Okay, this flywheel came with new dowel pins. They're M8 dowel pins. And it says if your flywheel takes anything different, you'll have to get whatever it requires. But this came with their kit. So I just put my solid steel underneath to have a solid point of hitting. And they go on the outer holes. That's what it showed on the other one. I just start them. And once I start it, make sure it's going in straight. Just so it feels solid. That's it. Okay. Back under the car, get our bolts back in. I got to find the torque spec for that. And we'll get this bad boy torqued down and get our flywheel in. Or I'm sorry, clutch. We'll get this cleaned up too. So give me a few. Okay guys, here's the new clutch pressure plate. All right, so normally on the old one, there's a little sticker that says FW side, flywheel side. That's this side. So you want your flat part to go towards it, and the part with the springs that stick out go inside this. So that's just how I always remembered it. Make sure your part with this part goes down inside the pressure plate. I'm going to wipe this off real quick, get it over on the car, stick our tool in, pre-start our bolts, and I'll bring you over there here in a second. Okay, so, and real quick guys, just want to show you, you want that to go pop out like that and go right back in real smooth. That's how you know it's lined up nice. Okay, so a couple things here on the torque specs. They're kind of all over the place. Some people say 12 to 24 foot-pounds with an additional churn, and you have to torque sequences in a circular pattern, okay? Other people say 24 is fine with a 90-degree churn on each bolt, and other people have done them at 30 foot-pounds and don't touch them from there, and that's what I do. I've never had a problem. 30 foot-pound circular pattern, and I go around them a couple times just to double check so you don't skip a bolt, and that's it. I've never had a problem with them like that. And if you think about it, 24 foot-pounds with an additional churn on it, most people don't even get a full churn out of it. You're going to probably be at about 30 foot-pounds. So anyways, that's in there. Everything's put together. Everything fit well. But so now we're going to go ahead and proceed to get the tranny back underneath here. We'll get it up where we need to get it and start putting it back in. So give me a little bit. Okay guys, I got the line hooked back up, clip back in it. I haven't fooled with the harness yet. I'm trying to get it. Sorry, I'm out of breath. So I just raised it up. What you want to do is you want to get this thing to go in, you know, even. You don't want the back tail shaft down where the front output shaft is going in crooked. So as you're jacking it, I'm holding up on the back of this a little bit, and I'm winding that back straight to match the angle of the engine. So when you push it into it, it kind of goes in. So don't force nothing. And every time you go up here and look, make sure the gaps look even. You know, not too big of a gap at top and smaller at the bottom. That means the back's got to come up some, if I'm making sense. So I've done that. I've got our shifter back through the hole. I've got this thing shooting in at the same angle as the motor. And then let me show you. Hang on. Hopefully you guys can see this. So there's my gap. And it's pretty straight on both sides, from the top of the engine to the bottom. It's hard to see up there, but yeah, I mean, you could tell if the gap's closed down here, if it's not going in straight, this gap will be closed here and it'll be a huge one up top. So, and then that's all going back in its spot. And you just go careful, you know, feed it with your hand, do what you got to do. And now, it's in gear, and as I'm pushing it, I'm turning on that. Now it's locked into my clutch, into my pressure, in my clutch. Sorry. So you put it in gear and turn your output shaft as you're pushing it into the motor, so it gets the teeth. You know, it goes in right in, so you're not going against teeth and not through the splines of it. So you spin that till it goes in, and as soon as it goes in, you'll feel it catch, and you know you're there. So, okay. So now we're pretty close. I can probably start a couple of these, I'd say, because we're right there. Let me try to get a couple of these started. Yeah, they're going right in. So we're where we need to be at. Now what I'll do with these is I'll snug them, and then I'll make sure it's still going in straight, and you know, keep on a little bit on each side, boom, 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 as it's going in. Because we don't want to mess our pilot bearing up by forcing it if it ain't going in straight, which we just seen it is. Okay, these, I think took one of these. I'm just going to put one in the middle here. All I want to do is get it to where it's, yeah, they're going right in. And I'll show you what I mean. Let me grab my swivel. We'll just do two. Actually, hold on, can I get to this one? Yeah. That's the one I want to be in anyways, better than you, because it's kind of in the middle. Okay. All right, let me grab my long extension, my swivel. I think those were 13s maybe, or 12s, 13s. Right? Yep, 13s. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is, this is the part I was telling you guys, it's gonna be hard for you guys to see, but I'm gonna put that on this one, this middle, and then I might have to do this bottom one. There's no room because I got to drop the back of this down, and I don't want to drop the back of this down until I know it's going on straight, which they're going right on the bolt holes, so you know they're going right in the threads, so we know it's going in straight. We just don't want to force nothing still. So just a little, go back over here, and if everything's fine, it'll pull it right into place, easy. No, I'm not even barely, you can feel the restriction. You know what I mean? You want it all to go in smooth. I mean, it's just going super easy. These are a little different than putting in an automatic, guys. It's not, you know, you want to, don't do too much of one side. As soon as I feel it getting not smooth, but just a little snug, I stop, come back over here. We're probably getting close. Let me look. Oh yeah, we're about pulled in all the way to the block. A little bit more there. Oop. Do this one. I think we're all the way there. Yep, and we're all the way here. That's it. We're all the way in, guys. So now that we know that these two are all the way in, now we can let the back of our transmission down so we can reach all of our top bolts. Let me just double check. Let me grab my light. Yep, we're all the way against the block. Everything's good. Okay, look at this side just for, yep, we're good. All right, so that's what I'm gonna do real quick. I'm going to, see if you guys can see that. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this down just a hair. Just a little. I think I'm already off right there. Right there. And then I should be able to, I think I can see, yeah, I can get to all my top ones now. And that's where we'll leave it, right there. I'll get the top ones in, I'll tighten them up. And guys, what I'm gonna do here after I put all the bell housing bolts in, I'm gonna put my rear mount on, and I'm gonna stop there, and I'm gonna go up to the top and fill my slave cylinder up with fluid. And I'm gonna go ahead and do it right now. I wanna make sure that it doesn't leak on that line or anywhere before I get too far. I don't wanna put this thing all the way together and see that I got a leak up there on that line or something stupid. And then I got to go through and take everything off. So I'll be doing that first. And that's a pretty good, smart thing to do so you don't get too far ahead of yourself and find that later on. So let me go ahead and finish putting the rest of them bolts in. Like I said, there's nothing you guys can see there. I can barely see them. And then we'll snug them up, we'll mount this, and check all of our stuff for leaks. Okay. Okay guys, the slave cylinder is part of the master cylinder. Well, the reservoir, I'm sorry. should I say. The reservoir is part of the master. So we're gonna fill this up. I'm gonna put it to the max line. The way you bleed it, you just go in and start pumping the pedal. So let me try to get some of it down there. You may have to pump it like, who knows, maybe 50, 100 times. And if your pedal falls, pull it back up with your foot, or just do it with your hand at first. Okay guys, I'm probably at about, I don't know, 50 pumps. And the trick is, you want to push it down, hold it. You know, don't do them fast. Then pull up. If your pedal's sticking, pull it with your foot, pull it up. Let it stay there for a minute in the up position. Push it back down, because what you're wanting to do is the fluid to go through it, and then the bubbles to come up through the reservoir. Basically like bench bleeding a master cylinder. That's all this is doing. But I'm starting to get a really good pedal now. It's releasing on its own, and then I'll leave it up for a second. And if we would have had a leak, it wouldn't have done this. It would have never started to pump up, so I know that's okay. So now we can go back underneath and start putting our harness back around the trainee. Well, I already did that. Start bolting stuff up. Put the starter back in. Put all the rest of our stuff back in. Yeah, it's feeling good. I got about actually you could push it like about a 1/16, and then there's the pedal. So it feels good. Okay, we'll let that settle for a while. If we need to pump it some more after, let's see where yep, we're good on the reservoir. Now, that's another thing, guys. Read your cap. Most of these are .4 on these with the clutch. You don't want to mix it with .3. So .4 on those, the silicone. Most of the .4s are silicone base. Trying to read this here. It's just high temp. I forget what all different .4 is. I think it's somewhat silicone too. Anyhow, read the cap. Don't just put .3 in it. All right, real quick, you guys. So he's called me over the weekend and basically said that I forget how he worded it, but basically he wants to do the hubs and the half shafts and stuff. So I told him no problem. We'll button up the training and exhaust, and we'll give him a shot when it's finished. So I'm gonna go ahead and raise it back up, and we'll start proceeding with that stuff. We're there. I don't see any leaks underneath with our lines or anything. Like I said, I cleaned that line real good, and from factory, I believe comes a plastic line. It's not braided like this one, so somebody has changed this at some point. So, because that's if you go and look when people are doing these are plastic, and then they recommend you putting the stainless line on there. So that's already been done. But where it went into the top of the in the trainee there in that 90, it was rusted on the line part. So I just took and cleaned it with some Scotch-Brite and cleaned it and put a new seal on it, an O-ring. Put a little bit of petroleum around the O-ring, popped it right in. Perfect. So we got no leaks or nothing. Let me get this thing raised up, and I'll bring you guys back here in a few. We'll start buttoning it up. Okay, guys, I got the starter back in, the mounts everything's tightened back up. I got our harnesses where they need to be at. Let's put this dampener back on real quick. This is the new one. I just got the bolts hand started there. Now that one part threads into the training, the other part's a bolting nut for the drive shaft. And it's got like an offset that fits into the training. Let me grab my... Okay. Now on these O2 sensors that go up here in the headers, I'm going to put anti-seize on them, which whoever did these headers should have done, and we wouldn't have probably had to fight them off. 9 times out of 10, it will let them come back apart easier, instead of what we had to do on this side where we had to heat it, and you guys seen it. Yeah, and all I use is any of the anti-seizes. This is the high temp one. I like using the high temp on everything, that way it ain't going to hurt it if it's not high temp. And when you do need it for the high temp, you got it. Now this one, there we go. I was gonna say I might have to work that one around a little bit. I'll work it in there, that way it's nice and goes in straight. Okay. Now just because that's boogered up, it doesn't mean we can't tighten it. Yep, we're good. That's why I wanted to heat it to get it off, so we wouldn't finish doing what whoever started doing, and that's ruining the sensor. Okay, now these go into, I believe, these gray ones up here on the transmission. Okay, this is this one. That's out. Get on there. Okay, that's that one. And the fin goes right there. Okay, this is this way. Let me find our release. All right, come on. So the pins go up and down. Why is that not going that way? Not unless that's the other one. Let me see something. That's got to be that one. Let me see. I know this one fit. Yeah, that's the correct. Why is it not going? I just had it started when I was testing which ones are which. Let me go grab the other ones, guys, and see what they fit on. Hang on one second. Okay, guys, these are your first of the stream, so those plugs are up here, which is crazy because, okay, I see. Where does that plug into? Because that's got to get out of the way of them headers, and it is not. So I don't think they had that plugged into anything, because there's nothing for this little push-in to plug into nowhere around here. Not in the trainee, nowhere. Let me see something. Okay, if I put that one there, I'm trying to rearrange some stuff here. Maybe somebody had it wrong. Okay, that can be our back, or the other sensors right here. I'll mount this in the fin like it goes into the trainee there. All right, but still, where would this go? Yeah, I got nowhere for it. That's weird. Well, let's do this. Let's mount our other pieces of exhaust up here first, and then we'll know where everything goes, because then we'll know that these go into the that part of the exhaust. Because according to how these were when I pulled them off, there's a tab up here on this side that one goes into, and there's a tab right here on this side where that one goes. So if I do that, just push in here, hasn't got no tab nowhere. And this one just sitting on a hook here. Of course, these are aftermarket, they don't come with these headers. So what I might do is try and pull these back a little and put a wire tie on that so it doesn't get into the header. And I'll do the same over here. Maybe I'll wire tie that one into this one, because that one's got a good plug into the trainee there, which somebody didn't do. Okay, let me get set up with the exhaust stuff, because this is all done. Actually, we can put our drive shaft back in. Give me a second. I'm just gonna hand start the carrier here, just so it's holding us up. Okay, now we have our 3 that go up front, and we got these that go in the back. Let me line these up. I want to say, let's see if I can get that thing out of gear. Probably not, because it's way up there now. Let me see if I can't. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get our first 3 started. Oh, that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to make sure that there wasn't a notch here. I don't think so. No. Okay, so we just need, that's about where they're at. Problem with this is, we're only gonna get these in till I go up and get the daggone thing in neutral. So, let me start these. I think it was a 10. Yep. Let me just run those in real quick. I might be able to start those top ones, maybe. Maybe I can get them in there. Get on in there. There we go. One more. Now let's try it. If I can get most of these going. There's one. Two. Okay, let me see something. Oh, there we go. Is that all? Yep. Okay, but we can do this. I got it to where I can reach it now. All right, guys, I'm gonna snug those up. Let me put you over here. I just want to show you what I'm doing and how I get them in there. Okay, here's the, now you got a bolt and a nut on these. Nut goes in the back side. I am gonna have to put it in neutral to get that to spin around. But we'll go ahead and start these what we can here real quick. I just wanted you guys to see what I'm doing here. I forgot to take that thing out of neutral when I put that tranny up in there. I wanted it locked so I could get my spline in my, if you guys remember. Yeah, I can't get to that one. Okay, we'll go up, pop it in neutral, get this where I can spin it, put those three in, tighten up all my U-joints, tighten my carrier up. Everything under here is done except for the exhaust. So, and I'm gonna get some wire ties, clean these wires up so they're not near the headers. And that's it. I'll bring you guys back. We'll get our muffler ends cleaned up where the welds are, and then we'll get them back underneath here, get them snug on here, and set our H-pipe with the two stands, put them right where we want them at, and get this thing tacked in place, pop it down, weld it, and get it buttoned up. So give me a few. All right, guys, so what I've done, put it in neutral. I raised the back wheels up, spun it to where these three on the bottom, dropped it down so it would grab. I tightened them up. I spun it around, put the the tight ones up top, and did the same with the bottom. Then up here, same thing. Raised it up, spun it around, tighten each one with a wrench on the back and tighten that up. They're all tight. Carrier bearings are tight. So we have, I'm gonna wire tie these real quick, like I said, and then we're gonna go out here and work on the exhaust. Everything else is finished underneath here. I mean, if we wanted to start it with just the headers, we could, but I'm not gonna do that. I don't wanna maybe throw a coat or something and then we gotta reset it. Maybe it won't, maybe it will, but anyways. All right, let me get some wire ties. I'll zip those up and I'll see you guys back over here with the exhaust. All right, guys, if you look, I got the new H-pipe sitting in there. What I'm gonna do is, so I come to the back and look and try to see if it's even across the ground. Let me show you about what area. So I want all this to be even this way. The pipes are meeting up pretty good here. So what I'm gonna do is, let me come back here and look. And they look like they're in a good spot. I'm gonna hit a couple tacks on these up here, and then we'll set our tailpipes and see how it all looks. And that way, if we have to adjust, grind a little, twist a little, and then we could do our final little buzz off on these, take this all back off, weld it, bring it back up here, then we can put it back up, fit our tailpipes in for the last time, and do it that way. So, I got it set on 10 gauge. Let's see what it does. I'm gonna hit this one real quick. I think that's gonna be a good selection. Hit this side. Okay, let's hit this one. It's welded nice, actually. Let me get the inside of that one. Okay, now we're solid here. So what we could do is, yeah, see, now we're in good shape here. So if you look, yeah, see, now we can play with it like this way. That way is all good though. All those up there are nice. That's what I wanted to get right. And they're fitting into the header straight. Let me see if I can't go in some more. So if you look, hold on, this is gonna be tough. Without it going to, if you look here and here, they're both about the same. It's kind of hard on camera, but back here from the back of the car, it all looks really good. Okay, now what we need to do is, actually, we know that's good. So let me take that back off, bring it over to the table, and weld it all the way around, because that part there ain't going to change on us, because it's all connected to that H pipe is together with a band welded in the back there, and it's welded throughout the middle. So that's not going to be two pieces. It's all going to be one piece going back into the headers as far as left and right. So that'll all go back the same way. So let me do that. I'm gonna pull it up, bring it to the table, and I'll bring you guys back. All right, guys, we got it all back together. I'm gonna take you around and show you everything. I went around, made sure everything was tight. Let me kind of go over a few things with you guys here. Hang on one second. Okay, he's starting in the back here. He is missing this hanger, as we said before. I'm gonna let him know about it. He'll also see it in the video, but it does have the back ones. We got all them back on. Everything's tight and good. Got the band clamps back on it. The new H pipe. Got them all fully welded around. Took it off, welded them around. I went around, rechecked, made sure all this stuff's tight. I put new grade A bolts, or I'm sorry, nuts, because they had some kind of hokey pokey things on there with wheel lug washers around it. And we put NICs around all of our O2 sensors all the way around. Double checked every bolt, nut and bolt. Wire tied our wires out of the way up here, so they're nowhere near the headers. We are good to go. No leaks, no nothing. We're going to go ahead and drop it down, hook the battery up, and fire it up for the first time. I wanted to wait and do all that with you guys just in case there's any kind of... Oh, and we got to put the shifter boot back on too, that I didn't show you how I took off. So give me a second. I'm going to let the car down, and then we'll get to the inside. It's going downtown. Okay, let's put the boot back in first, and then we'll hook the battery up. Okay, so you got a sleeve. Some of these lock in. This one just slid down over it. So let me show you here real quick. And then you got these little push-ins that push in around the perimeter of it. Let me put the camera on the other side. Maybe you guys can see better. Okay, that's much better. All right, so basically all I done was, now I got a little bit of like a oil, petroleum that's around this, so we can get the slip back down on there. That just snaps in place. The boot goes on like that. We got this cover that goes inside here. Somebody's had this stuff out before, guys, and none of it's went back in correctly. I don't know. I mean, that's the problem with fooling with other people's stuff. You know, they don't... I mean, stuff gets jammed back in. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know who does what or where, but you don't know. Pretty cool little ball there. Right back in the spot. Let me go grab a ratchet. Okay. Yeah, you got to be careful on interior panels especially. I mean, you got little things that fit in certain places. They all got to go back in correctly, or you'll bend stuff, you'll break plastic. You know, unfortunately, it happens, and there's nothing wrong with people being DIYers, but probably the best advice I give to people is look it up and watch stuff a bunch of times before you even touch it. Make sure there's not other videos out there where somebody's messed up. I think I hit that. Yep. The hazard. Yeah, make sure there's not videos out there where somebody has messed up. That way you can see and learn from mistakes and not create your own. Okay, then it had this little cover right there. Alright, we're back in. Okay guys, as I was saying, we're all set inside there. Let's go out here and hook the battery up. Yeah, like I was saying guys, I'm all for the DIYers. I mean, and I'm not trying to, you know, talk anybody down or I'm the best or nothing like that, but you know, I like it's really good when you watch a bunch of stuff and make sure that this is this and that's that before you go turning on a bolt or how does it come off. Sometimes people just go right at it and they don't, you know, like them O2 sensors, they were so boogered up Two of them for sure was, and that's because it needed heated. Obviously, that's how we had to get it off. We'll double check this one too. And, you know, that's all I'm saying. Just double check, look and make sure, do some research. That way, things don't, it's not harder on the next guy that works on it if somebody else is going to work on it. Okay, let's get this thing fired up. Now, I haven't refelt this clutch. We have no leaks, but from the past doing these things, it like I said before, it takes some time to keep pumping. Let's feel it. It's still good, and it'll continue to get better because, like I said, what that does is when you push in and hold it, the air bleeds back up through the master cylinder. So, yeah, it feels pretty good. All right, let's hear this thing. It's probably going to be loud. Woo! I'm going to try to put it in first. Yeah, I got wheel chock on it. Here's reverse. Okay. And it's working right away. All right, before it gets too hot, I just wanted to make sure we didn't have no exhaust leaks and stuff. Sounds good. Hang on one second, guys. Okay, once again, guys, we're all finished up with this. It was unfortunate we didn't get to do the bearings and half shafts on video. He was wanting to do it himself, so no big deal. I'm for that, you know what I mean? But anyways, I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. As I've said before, we're going to mix them up, do some different stuff here and there. This was pretty cool. You know, there's some things there to learn and, you know, to like the clutch part. Most clutches like that, you got to bleed them. You got a bleeder down there and you break it loose. It has a separate reservoir to the, like a slave cylinder type thing. This is part of the brake system. And remember, .4 is what goes in these. If you guys are doing one, read your caps and it'll say it right on it what it is. But yeah, everything turned out great on it. I'm going to back it out, test it a little bit, and give them a shout, tell them to come pick it up. I'm trying to figure out if we're going to be doing the finish up on a Planish hammer, or there's a bunch of stuff going on with that gold car too. I'm putting aftermarket AC, sorry guys. And we're going to put a cam and lifters in it. Just some things. And like I said, I'm back to work now, so it's a little bit tougher. I don't get to start in the shop here till at least afternoon. Some days I get here around 10:30 or 11 if the work's closer, but mainly after 12, 1 o'clock. So, and I only work usually till like 6. The guy with the Viper seat, he sent me another. I'm doing his orange seat too, so I got to make some stuff for that. So once again, you guys, thank you so much for being part of the channel, doing all that you can do for me. As I said before, please like, share, comment, subscribe. And please try to watch as much as you can on these videos, guys, because if you just click on them, it doesn't stay in the feed. YouTube thinks people's not interested in it. So if it's just something you're wanting to click through, you know, I wouldn't even bother with it. It's probably going to be just like another video you've watched. But if you're interested and you're part of this channel, please try to watch it for me a little bit, as much as you can. That way it keeps the video in the feed. It shows interest, and we can get this channel growing quicker and quicker. I can do this full time, as I said before, and there's a bunch of stuff planned, you know, for the future. So thank you so much, you guys. And until the next one, maybe the Planish hammer, maybe the Go car. Thanks again, guys.